I want to give you three of what I feel are the strongest closes in the industry today. And it all starts with using common items that are on your desk. Customer walks in the F&I office, they drop their cell phone on your desk, use that as a prop. I recommend putting a phone charger on your desk that will charge cell phones, Apple phones, smartphones, and even Apple watches and smartwatches. So when the customer sits down, hey, if you want to recharge your phone, there's a charger right there. And they just put their prop right in front of you. Use their Apple Watch, Apple Pay, and all these other things to close them. You probably have a cell phone case, you have a cell phone screen protector, and you probably have insurance. And here we are talking about protecting one of the most highest investments you're going to make in your life, and you're not protecting that. The pen. You take a mechanical pen and you simply show the customer and say to them, the only thing that's covered under the powertrain warranty is what's inside this pen. Anything that's inside this pen is covered. If this were to break off or this were to stop working, it's not covered. That's the illusion. That's the illustration that you share, the visual that you share with your customer. The glass of water is an illustration with the ice cubes. The only thing that's covered under powertrain coverage is the ice cubes in that glass. Go out and buy a cheap thermos, a little aluminum thermos, and beat the hell out of it in your office. Put it on your desk and point out, this is what happens to aluminum bodies. It happened in my office. Can you imagine your poor car out in the elements? I'm going to share with you the calculator close. A stapler. You simply take a stapler and a cell phone. You hold them up and you look at the customer and go, Mr. Jones, this is a combustion engine. This is what drives your car. Think about it. What's most likely to break over the next 3, 4, 5 years? The customer is going to point out the cell phone and say, that's right, because the combustion engine, just like the stapler, has been mastered over the years. Technology is still increasing. It's still being, it's crazy, okay? Use these common items to close them on service contracts. And then there's the computer on your desk. And you talk about it and you say, how many networks do you have in your home? One. We have like 5 networks in our dealership. Do you know how many networks are in your vehicle? There's over 40 networks in your vehicle, from backup to transmission to headlights to all this stuff. So arm yourself with really good dialogue that you can open the customer's mind to not so much just the powertrain coverages, but everything else that it covers. So the calculator close. This is one of the best closes that I feel I've come up with, and this is innovation. This is taking the old school, hey, it's a pack of cigarettes a day. Hey, it's a Starbucks coffee a day. Hey, it's a pack of gum a day. Many years ago, I was sitting in my F&I office in Danvers, Massachusetts at Rolls Toyota, and a customer walked in. He was a plumber, and right on his shirt, it said Max Plumbing, and the guy's name was Mac, and inside he had a lottery ticket. And he refused to buy anything. And I looked at him and I said, how often do you play the lottery? And he said, well, I play it a lot. He goes, every day. I go, how much, what ticket? He's got dollar tickets. How much you spend a day on the lottery? He goes, $5. I go, how often do you win? He goes, I win every once in a while. So I asked him, do you lose more often than you win? He goes, yeah, I lose more often than I win. And I looked at him and said, how'd you like to win every single time your car breaks down? And he goes, what do you mean? I go, that's the service contract. You pay $1,800 today, and if you ever have a breakdown, it's a win. He looked at me and goes, sign me up. The reason I'm bringing that up is because you need to utilize your surroundings to sell stuff. So rather than say to a customer, it's a Starbucks coffee a day, which is $4 a day, you're taking the Starbucks coffee away from them. Remind them what they're paying for their car. People budget monthly and they spend daily. I want you to think about that. People budget monthly and spend daily. Very few people in this country, even during the inflation, even during these economical times, have a very strict budget. I know because I travel and I see the money that's being spent in places, okay? They're still spending money daily. What they have is enough money in the bank to pay all their bills. That's their budget. They pay their car payment, they pay their insurance, they pay their rent, their mortgage. Everything gets paid. Food on the table, it's all in the bank. But they still have an ATM card in their pocket they use, or they have cash. Some people like to run around with a lot of cash. The point I'm trying to make here is no one's really on a budget. So when someone says to you, like, I'm on a budget, that's a lot of money, that's over my budget, look right at them and say, I get it. You just simply don't want to spend the extra money. And they say, no, you don't understand. I'm on a budget. Well, do you mind if I share something with you? Because there may be another way of looking at it. Really? Yeah. Especially if they have interest, they show interest in a product. You simply ask them and explain to them the budget, daily spending concept. You probably budget your money. You have enough money in the bank to pay all your bills. That's your budget, right? Yeah, exactly. But you still spend money every day, right? Well, yeah, of course I do. Well, I spend between $5 and $10 a day. How much do you spend on the average day? Cousin looks at it and said, well, about the same. I spend between $5 and $10 a day. That's what we call disposable income. So let's take your car payment, okay, of $600, all right? And let's divide that by 30. And you use their cell phone that they put on your desk or put in your cell phone charger. And they go to, you got a calculator on there. They go to the calculator, 600 divided by 30. What's that equal? You know what it equals, $20, but they $20. Write it down. Make them write it down, $20. So that's what you're spending for your car every day. But you're not spending it every day. It's in the bank. That's your budget, right? Yeah. But you still have money to spend every day, right? Yeah. So let's take the $38 for the service contract that you're most interested in. Let's say $30. Let's divide that by the same 30 days. What do you got? $1. Write that down. $1. Is $1 a day, $1.25, $2 a day, $3 a day going to change your lifestyle in any way, shape, or manner, Mr. Jones? No. Then doesn't it make sense, rather than just spend the $20 and have no coverage at all and not lock in the cost and not transfer the risk? Isn't it worth just $1, $1.25, $1.50 a day to have that peace of mind and knowing you have that coverage? Most customers are going to look at you seriously and say, that's ridiculous, sign me up. Because they never looked at it that way. You brought it to their attention using what I call the calculator close. And if you want, just use a small calculator. You don't have to necessarily use your cell phone. All right, so that's one close, all right? The second innovative close is, this is a wonderful close as well. You want to sell more service contracts? How many times has a customer said to you in the F&I office, I don't do that many miles? Well, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, it doesn't matter how many miles you drive today. What do you mean? It's the cycles your vehicle goes through. What? Yeah, just like a washing machine. Every time you press the button, it's going through cycles. Every time you start the car, it's going through cycles. Every time you press the key fob, it's going through cycles. Hundreds of lines of code are going through the air, setting off those modules, those semiconductors, and those transformers. Every time you press that button. And if you're like most people, you get in, press this unlock button, get in the car, press the stop button to turn the car off. When you go to lock the car, you boom, 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 boom. That's 5 cycles, and just to get there. And then another 5 cycles when you go home, 10 cycles a day. Now, that's like having a big family with a washing machine. You're changing your washing machine every 2 to 3 years. But if it's only you and your wife or your spouse, you're changing your washing machine maybe every 10 years. So think about it that way. It's not the number of miles you drive anymore. It's the cycles that your vehicle goes through. That's a wonderful close as well. So you're probably asking your question, what is product prep worth? Well, let me share something with you, okay? My thoughts on product prep. I've been doing this now for 4 years. I've been in this business for a number of years, over 35 years, 40 years. And I got to tell you something. What we have on product prep, it's more than innovation. There's over 100 hours of video on that thing. That's got to be worth at least $3,000. You got bi-weekly live webinars with me and top F&I managers from all over the country. Every other week, every other Thursday, 10:30 in the morning. That's got to be worth $1,000 a month. That's just one service contract sale. F&I certification, we'll certify you. We'll even certify AFib, but that's a different thing. $2,500 easily. Job assistance, you join product prep, we'll get you a job because we know F&I managers all over the country. That's got to be worth $3,000 because a headhunter is going to ask you for 10% of your salary. You get to join a community group of F&I managers all over this country. That's invaluable. That's going to be worth over $10,000. But the one thing that's priceless is getting me 24/7. I'm just kidding. Just screwing around with you, man. But here's the deal. The regular subscription is $249 a month. We're giving a webinar special. For everybody attending this webinar, you get 20% off the regular subscription. So if you act now, it's $199. You get no contract. You cancel anytime. All you got to do is you go to that link, and put the code SAVE20 at checkout. Get that 100 hours of F&I training, get those bi-weekly webinars with me as the host and top F&I managers from all over the country, be able to get certified, be able to get job assistance, and join the group of the most successful and best in class F&I managers in the country. And if you want to sell more in 24, whether you're a sales consultant, sales manager, an F&I manager, I feel like Jerry Lewis telethon. Sign up now.